be here right now. And this hangout is live. This is the first time doing this, so welcome to my house. It's kind of cool. So not sure who's on, but thank you guys for joining. And I'm excited to just talk a little bit about just my personal story. As you guys know, I competed in the Beachbody physique competition, came in third. So it was very, very cool. And since then, I have been fielding a ton of questions. And that is partly what we'll be talking about today. And some other stuff, just a little bit of background about who I am, how I get started in fitness. Hoping to see a lot of questions because that's going to be fun. So I'm Coach James. And give me 1 second. Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. 1 second. All right, where are we at? Okay, here we go. So, where are we at? Here we go. Screen share, chat. We got a lot of options over here. I tell you one thing, Google Hangouts is pretty good. Not a lot of live options here. Delete this one. I only got 30 minutes. I need to hurry up. Okay, there we go. So we're back. And get that out the way. All right, so Coach James, James Thomas, actually, my government name. So just a little bit about me. I am a dad. I think I'm also a serial entrepreneurist because I have been in several different businesses. On some levels, I think I'm psychologically unemployable, but somehow I still work. Shakeology, we'll talk about that. So I'm a dad, 4 boys, 2 girls. A little bit about that. I'm 40 years old. Sometimes I forget and I do things and my body says, hey, you're 40 years old. So that's funny. But 4 boys, 2 girls, and I'm very proud of them. They're all very athletic. Ridiculously athletic. My sons are doing everything from running track, 100 meters, 200, 4x4, to playing baseball, basketball, football, lacrosse, soccer. In addition to the fact that they are some freaking nerds. So most of them are ranging from a 3.3 all the way up to about a 4.0. My girls are dancers, ballerinas. What do they do? Ballerina? Some other kind of weird dance too. But again, taking those classes, they're all working out, doing burpees, doing this, doing that. So you guys will see some family videos coming soon. So that's just a little bit about the family. That's something that I've never actually shared with anyone. So it's very personal, very intimate. But I am quite proud to be a dad, quite proud to have them as children. And if you guys have children, you should all be proud also. I've been a personal trainer. I've trained at 24 Hour Fitness, where I've had the honor, the pleasure of training ex-firefighters, ex-athletes, nurses, heck, honestly, I feel like I did a lot of rehab, you know, with a lot of these people. So I think that is also where I got my initial fitness bug. It wasn't even for myself. It was just simply um, training these people and these individuals becoming stronger, better, bigger, better, stronger. You know what I mean? Heck, the only reason I became a personal trainer is because I love playing basketball and I didn't want to pay for a membership at the gym, right? Funny story. So they were hiring, and I was in basketball shape, but no real, you know, fitness shape. You know, I studied nutrition, but I didn't know the first thing about, you know, fitness. I was just like everybody else. You know, I grabbed some weights, I started lifting. I look in the mirror, and I think I should work on my arms today. You know, that's how my approach was. But I didn't want to pay for a gym membership because all I wanted to do was play basketball. I didn't even want to work out. So to circumvent that, I got a job as a personal trainer. Go figure. Went through all the certifications, and again, I went through the motions. I'm smart enough. I passed all the courses, things like that. And again, I'm always been really anal about how people do things, so I knew that if I did it, I'd be good. But I wasn't expecting it to just kind of take on a life of its own. So I end up playing a lot less hoop because when you get a job, you have to work. Funny how that goes, right? So that is my intro into fitness. So I started there, did that for a while, you know, moved on. I started training people outside the gym. From there, I graduated to, well, I didn't really graduate too, but I stopped training outside the gym and I started building workout plans for people because I just got busy with life, to be perfectly honest. So I wasn't full-time active doing the personal training, but I still, people were still coming to me. So I still wanted to make an impact. So didn't charge anything, just kind of got an idea what their goals were and built programs. Accelerate that a few years. I moved out here to Georgia, and things continued to elevate. I became a Beachbody coach, and that has been awesome so far. It's a pain in the butt because I think just being a business owner is not really easy. It seems sexy, you know. I know you guys see the infomercials, but it is hard work. But it's very rewarding work, especially on the health and fitness side, because I think we all should live long and prosper. So I am also, just to kind of piggyback and jump back a step or two, a Group X instructor, and that is very, very cool. I've had the pleasure, the honor of teaching and co-teaching Insanity. I've had the pleasure and honor of teaching and co-teaching TRX, which is quite possibly one of the toughest exercises you'll ever do. So if you haven't did TRX, you should do some TRX. So like I said, I was into nutrition long before I got into fitness because I was just more curious than anything. So I've always been an avid reader. So, you know, I'm the guy who, when I was a kid, I was reading the side of the cereal box, and not just the side where they talked about, you know, the goodies that's inside, but the ingredients, you know, the vitamin A, the vitamin B, the niacin, the B6, the B12, all the ingredients inside the box. And I think I wasn't in the nutrition side as a kid. I just found those words big and interesting. So, but I think that's funny how life happens, you know, God happens, how he's kind of taking you to a different direction. So that's how I got my start in nutrition. And of course, I've just kind of studied from there. Remind me, at the end, I have to bring up what's next. And nutrition is a big part of what's coming next for Coach James. And I'm hoping to pass some of that information down to you guys. So moving right along, I got some notes here. So if I'm looking down at some notes. Let's get right into my addiction. A lot of people, again, especially after going to the Beachbody Summit, it's a coach summit where thousands and thousands and tens of thousands and 25,000, 50,000 coaches, they all gather, and, you know, a lot happens. But again, I was in a physique competition. It was awesome, and it really helped to get me some exposure. But more than anything, it's helped me to get a message out. So prior to being into fitness and nutrition, the addiction, we all have addictions. You know, some of us are addicted to alcohol, drugs, sex, money, rock and roll, whatever it is. For myself, I was addicted to sugar, but I didn't know that, you know, because I loved chocolate. How do I, what is this? Oh, it's kind of cool. Right. Hold on 1 second. Not sure why I'm doing this, but enhanced. This is enhanced. All right, I guess that's enhanced. Weird. Playing with the settings. I was addicted to sugar by way of chocolate. So this is how bad it was for me. Every single day, I'm talking about for years, I was at Starbucks buying grande Java chip frappuccinos, not just one, but two. I got some people in my life who can attest to this because they would call me in the middle of an order, and it was an epic event. You know, it wasn't just, hey, let me get a frappuccino. I would splice it and dice it. Let me get some extra scoop of chocolate. Hold back on the milk, but give me a little bit of extra of this. So I was really specific, but really addicted to sugar. But again, I didn't know it, right? Every meal, and my kids can tell you this, when after cooking, of course, I wanted to bake something. I always had to bake something, whether it's some cookies, some brownies. I even had a chance to bake a cake one time. So that's how deep my sugar addiction went. Like every single day, I had to have, in my mind, chocolate. So some of you may think, okay, that's not so bad. But the problem is when you bake a pan of brownies and you're by yourself, and before the end of the day, that pan of brownies is gone. You know, I didn't realize, again, I'm getting my chocolate fix, right? But really, I'm getting this sugar craving, the sugar addiction fix. Not only would that happen, I would buy packs of muffins, the Otis Spunkmeyer muffins, any muffins that you can get from a store, Safeway, Kroger, Publix, you know, Lucky's, Whole Foods, whatever. 3-pack of muffins, literally 12 to 1,500 calories a piece. Well, 8 to 1,200 calories. Sorry about that. 8 to 1,200 calories. And I would tell myself, I would trick myself, I'm gonna just take one, James. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna put it in the oven, right? Because we got to get it moist and melted, you know. So I'm gonna eat it, slice it, enjoy it, and then I'll save the others for the next day and the next day, right? That's what I would tell myself after eating that one. You know, a few minutes later, I'm like, okay, let me just eat one more, right? Before the hour's up, I've eaten the entire pack, and I'm taking in minimum 2,400 calories just eating those muffins. And that's just the muffins. That doesn't include the Starbucks because I'm still going to have a Frappuccino. I remember times eating whole packs of Oreos. And what's worse is I had my children eating the exact same way because I wanted them to love chocolate, but I didn't know any better. So in my quest to get them to enjoy chocolate, I'm literally creating little baby sugar addicts. You know, you guys see those posts in social media, online, the memes. And it was really, really bad, you know, because just like every other person, you know, when you're with the kids, sometimes you're tired and you just do the easiest thing, right? That's how we ended up in McDonald's, you know. And my logic was, hey, we're getting chicken sandwiches and chicken nuggets. We're not eating the beef, so it's okay. Oh, we're not getting Sprites and Cokes, but we're getting, you know, the little orange sodas, so it's okay. But the truth is it wasn't okay, because in my family, diabetes is quite common. I don't want to say it runs in the family. A lot of people end up getting it though. But I think it's really just lifestyle. You know, I believe when it comes to health, some of us are more predisposed to getting certain things than other people. And that is just more genetics. If you want more information, Google it. That's just genetics, but that doesn't necessarily mean it has to run in the family. So, you know, I'll get back to that, but you know, when you're feeding the kids like that and you're making all these excuses, um, you know, things just go a little crazy. So my addiction finally came to a head when one day, I don't know if it was a spike in my blood sugar or a drop, an increase, or whatever it was, but I remember being in San Francisco. There's a cafe called Specialties Cafe. I love it. They got great sandwiches. I wish I ate meat. I'm a vegetarian now, so I don't. But they had these big cookies, right? Chocolate chip cookies, semi-sweet. I don't even know how many calories, how much sugar. I didn't care because it was so good. But I remember one day going there, grabbing not one, but two of those cookies. Maybe it was three, because again, the sugar addiction is real. So ate one, was at work, and I was headed to class. Ate another one. A few minutes later, the world starts spinning. I don't know if I had vertigo. I don't know if I had a spike in my blood sugar, but it's like when I stepped down off the curb in the middle of Montgomery and 2nd Street, that's a busy street in San Francisco, like literally, I could feel the earth moving, and I was about to pass out. And lucky enough, my job was again right there on the corner. I turned around, went back up, you know, the elevator, walked in the office, and just laid out in the corner next to the conference table. I remember my boss coming in, and she's looking like, "Are you okay? Do I need to call a hospital?" And I'm like, "No, I'm okay. I just need to sleep." And luckily, it was a slow day. It was kind of late, so everybody had went home. It was just her in the office. But I remember sleeping for like 3 hours, and when I woke up, you know, I felt better. I'd eaten a banana, ate a banana immediately after that, drunk some water. And that was my first foray of like, whoa, you know, maybe I'm taking this too far. So that's kind of the backstory on my addiction. I did not realize, here's when I really realized that I was addicted to sugar, is when I began drinking Shakeology. This is not a shameless plug for Shakeology, but it is one of the main reasons. It is one of the main reasons I was able to kick my sugar habit. And that's how I knew I had a sugar habit. Because after becoming a Beachbody coach, you know, I did P90X3, P90X2, you know, awesome results. And during that time, I'm drinking Shakeology. And in my mind, again, it's chocolate, so it's working for me, right? So I'm getting my chocolate fix every day. But what I wasn't getting was all the sugar. Now, after a few, maybe 2 or 3 months of drinking Shakeology, I hadn't had Starbucks. And part of that could have been financial. I don't know. I was spending money elsewhere. But I remember going into Starbucks one day, and I was like, you know what? I haven't had a Frappuccino in a long time. So going to Starbucks, I get my Grande Java Chip Frappuccino, right? Give me an extra scoop of chips, lower the milk to about that much. Make sure it's low-fat milk, because I'm Mr. sugar-addicted healthy guy, right? That's really what I look like. That's what everybody in Starbucks looks like. Addicted to something, but they sound foo-foo about it. I remember ordering that Frappuccino, grabbed it, sat down, got on my computer. I'm like, yes, I'm about to enjoy this. Took 2 sips, and I felt my head start spinning. I was like, wow. So that was the moment I knew that I was drinking so much sugar. I didn't even realize how much sugar I was taking in every single day. Until, you know, after I started drinking Shakeology, to be honest, because it really did help to curb my sugar addictions. And I remember in that moment, I had to return the Frappuccino. I apologized like 14 times because I'm in a new state. I didn't know what the customs was. People looking at me funny, like, why is he returning it? I'm like, I can't drink it because it's, you know, I can't tell them, hey, it's too much sugar. What are they gonna do, take the sugar out? It was just at that point, I realized that I really was addicted to sugar in the past. I really had gotten over that addiction, you know, due to working out, due to my fitness, due to drinking the Shakeology. So, but it was just very eye-opening for me to go through that. And honestly, I have not had a Frappuccino maybe almost 3 years. It's been a long time. So that's sort of the backstory on the addiction. It really is. I really didn't get rid of it until one, I started drinking Shakeology. I think it really helped to reset my inside because it is an adaptogen along with having a lot of other nutrients in it. So my body was able to reset and get back to normal. From there, I really picked up eating much, much better. You know, a lot of us think, hey, I eat okay. And I thought I was eating okay when I'm eating all these muffins and drinking all these frappuccinos and baking brownies and eating whole boxes of cereal in a day. Because then at the end of the night, I'm eating salmon and broccoli. So in my mind, I'm like, hey, I'm okay. But I really believe I was probably this close to either getting diabetes or being pre-diabetic. I could have been pre-diabetic. You know, they say, I think about 70–80% of the country, or maybe 60 to 70. It's a big number. That's walking around pre-diabetic and doesn't even know it. You know, that actually makes sense since 90%, you know, according to statistics, of the people in the country are either overweight or obese. So for me to get rid of that sugar addiction, really, it wasn't just breaking the chain of that addiction. It was really breaking the chain of diabetes. Because again, remember what I said in the beginning, like I've had 3 or 4 generations, 3 generations at least, that I know about personally, who've all suffered from diabetes, end up dying from complications of diabetes. But when I watched them, it's like we were all eating the same type of food, eating these giant portions. And we just didn't know. So I was lucky enough where I read everything. So, and I was curious. So my curiosity is what drove me into health, what drove me into fitness. And I think that's ultimately what saved my life. Honestly, I'm gonna give a shout out right now to Tasha. You guys might know her, Coach Tasha Dillard. Check her out, Team Tasha Fitness, over on Facebook, Instagram, and probably everywhere else in the social world. But the cool thing, right, before I connected with her, you know, she is the one that actually introduced me to Beachbody, you know, their way of doing fitness and Shakeology. And prior to that, I was just Mr. Sugar King. So I do credit, you know, my health and fitness for the change. I credit God, but I also want to credit Tasha, because what happens if she doesn't introduce me to this way of doing fitness, you know, to these type of drinks, maybe I do have diabetes. Maybe I end up taking insulin. Maybe I end up on dialysis. Because that's where a lot of family members ended up. You know, I've watched the aunt recently over the last year who passed away. And, you know, I have family members right now that are dealing with it. So it's very, very tough. It's very common. It's very prevalent. And I'm very lucky that I'm not dealing with that. So shout out to all those people. So where are we? We got only a few minutes left. So great time for questions. I think I've covered the background there enough about the sugar addiction, the dad, and all that good stuff. So just our first live Google Hangout. It's something I want to do as regular as possible. I'd like to say once a week, but I need to get a schedule locked down. That way it works out for everybody. Because we know random means nobody's going to watch because we don't know when you're going to be on, James. So it's like a TV show, right? If your favorite show came on Tuesday and then it came on again next week on Thursday, you're going to be like, well, what happened to Tuesday, right? We need rhythms in our lives. That's why we work out, rhythm. So one question I get a lot, since right now we don't have any questions. So I'll answer a question that was asked before the viewing started here. One question is, hey, James, what did you eat? You know, and this is coming after the competition. What types of food did you eat to build your body the way it looks right now? So as much as I like, you know, the food shows, you know, those traveling chefs and Chef Ramsay and, you know, everything that's on TV, I love to be creative, but let's be honest, when you have a full plate, call it life and work and kids and business and working out and, you know, trying to even have a life, cooking really fancy. If you're lucky to do it once a month, kudos to you. But I like to keep things really simple because I'm just really busy. So some of the things I ate, and again, being a vegetarian, it was, you know, tricky with the protein, but salad became a staple in my diet every single day. It was not the main course, but in every meal, lunch and dinner, always had a salad. Um, a lot of vegetarian spaghetti. So instead of using like turkey meat or ground beef, I use something called protein crumbles. Chili was another staple. I've made things with salsa bowl, black beans, things like that. Sweet potatoes, tons of eggs, um, egg whites, and of course Shakeology. Those are really the same things that I ate over and over and over. Sometimes I had soup in there, but a hearty soup, not just Campbell's soup out of can, something homemade. So I am pretty simple. So I can eat something over and over and over, and I'll never get tired of it because I'm not thinking about, who I want something different. I'm just simply enjoying the food. I have my moments, on the weekend, have some popcorn, M&Ms. I still, I don't eat completely clean or anything like that. I have my moments where the addiction flares up and I just need some chocolate or some sugar. And for the most part, I fight them and I'm able to get through them, but sometimes I don't. And sometimes it's not really addiction. Sometimes I just want some popcorn and enjoy a movie, So I kept my diet pretty simple, eggs, black beans, salsa bowls, all those different things. If you want a meal plan, maybe I can give you one. So I ate that over and over and over, and I worked out. That's all I did. I drank a ton of water. I think I meet a lot of people who don't drink water, and it's odd to me because I drink a lot of water. I always have. Even in the past when I was, having my addiction to sugar. But people always say it doesn't taste like anything, but I guess I just think about the health aspects of it. Your body is 70% water, so you should probably fuel it with water. That's kind of my logic. If you need to know how much water is necessary, 1 ounce for every 2 pounds of body weight. So that means if you are 180 pounds, you should be drinking at least 90 ounces a day. If you're 100 pounds, you should be drinking at least 50 ounces a day. If you are a baby and you're 10 pounds, drink 5 ounces of water. So it's odd that people don't give babies water. I'm gonna have to look that up and see why. They give them sugar, breast milk, everything else, but no water. Nonetheless, that is all I got right now. We're coming up on the last minute or so. It has been pretty cool, to hang out with you guys, and I am hoping to do this. Forget about it. I am going to do this a lot more often. I just have to get a quiet space. So I am excited about what's coming forth. Oh, last minute. That's what I was supposed to talk about. What's next for Coach James, for JT Health and Fitness, Health and Wellness? We have a book coming out. That is coming out next month. So we'll talk more about that. I have some developers on the back end who are creating a logo, creating a site, so I can sort of integrate everything and make it a little bit easier, sort of a one-stop shop. So I'm not so spread out, in this social media world. It's like you're jumping on one app and then another app and then another app and on this side and that side. And look, I'm talking about it. I'm getting stressed out, right? So I like the idea of all the different ways to connect, but honestly, it's kind of overwhelming. And I find that most people like to stick with one or two. So I like to have a site outside of, your Facebook and your YouTube and your Periscopes and every other thing that's out there, somewhere centralized where you guys can go and shop and learn and read and get educated. So nonetheless, I am going to end this broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us. It is officially 3:30 and it is officially time to cut everything off. So you guys enjoy the day. Look for, well, I'll let you know when the next one is. Today is Tuesday, and maybe we can keep it going every Tuesday. So that's the goal. Take care.